Today we got the Beeman QB Chief. Ting! All right, go for the gold. Go out there for the black diamond. Ponk. Nice shooter, I tell you that right now. It's right on the money. 953, dude. Man, we're almost touching 1,000 here. Pating, pating, you're getting bonus patings. I think we're looking real good, guys. What is going on, everyone? Riddict here, and welcome to Off the Shelf Airguns. That's right. Today we got the Beeman QB Chief. Gonna be taking a look at this. Obviously, you knew I was going to get one for comparison purposes to the 3622. We're not going to be comparing those two today. This is just going to be a review of this QB Chief here, but we will eventually do that. Oh yeah, I'm getting all that data. I'm getting all the data, baby. I'm gonna sell this data and I'm going shopping spree tonight. These people are dumber than rocks, leaving all that data out there for me to get. Oh yeah, here we go. What's going on over there? Huh? Uh-oh. If you thought Billy was bad, trust me, data broker Billy is even worse. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Aura. Did you ever Google your own name, Google yourself? I mean, tons and tons of information comes up. It's just out there wide open for anybody to get their hands on. These data brokers, you know, they get a hold of it, they sell your information to scammers, spammers, anyone else who might want to target you. Your full name, email, home address, health records, trust me, it's all out there and it's free for the taking. And honestly, guys, look, I have been scammed. My personal data has been stolen, and it wasn't that long ago. I woke up one day and bank accounts are opening up in my name and I'm having to call these banks and prove that it isn't me. And it was just an absolute nightmare. And among other things that were happening. So, I mean, I'm like freezing my accounts and everything else, and it was just an absolute nightmare. It's no fun. So that's why I've been using Aura. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. All the trouble I went through when it happened to me, instead of doing all that heavy lifting, Aura does the heavy lifting for you. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get. Believe me, don't you get a lot of spam in your emails, spam phone calls and all that stuff? Well, it reduces that, but it protects me from the hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Hacker Billy is on a rampage. Data broker Billy is on a rampage. You don't want to deal with them, trust me. Aura also does so much more to protect me and my family from online threats that I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, which is great if you have children, believe me, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's all in one, all encompassing. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, you get everything at one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools already, but not having Aura is like locking the front door and leaving the back door wide open. I personally value my privacy, and I value yours as well, my OTSA army. Nothing is more important than protecting your personal data. Just go to aura.com/OTSA to get your free 14-day trial. Trust me, you don't want Hacker Billy coming after you. You don't want Data Broker Billy coming after you. He is probably the worst Billy there is. So I'd like to thank Aura for sponsoring today's video. Let's get on with it. All right, we've got the Beeman QB Chief here. Of course, for a very similar price as the 3622. Got a steel breech here. Wood stock, which feels very nice. Obviously that means it's going to be significantly heavier than the 3622. So keep that in mind. Adjustable rear sight for windage and elevation, fiber optic front sight. The safety, it's a little different than what we've seen before. A little flip down handle here, as you can see. Hopefully you can see that. Kind of flips down. All right, so that's on safe, that's on fire, and that's how that works. Nice rubber butt pad on the back there. Does have a fill gauge on it, all right? But it fills to the same as the 3622, so it fills to 2,000 PSI. You know, it's about 70 or so pumps with your hand pump. And if you're using a compressor, it's going to take like a minute, maybe 30 seconds. If you top it off, if you don't let it drop below 1,000 and top it off, it'll take about 30 seconds, maybe a minute tops to fill with a compressor. And yeah, so of course up here is where your fill probe is, right there. Obviously you can adjust the hammer spring right here. Your bolt is obviously metal. And yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say other than take some shots and see what we think. Start out with some plinking. And the pellets we're going to be using, same ones we use with the 3622, and that is the JSB Jumbo Express 14.35 grain. So, there we go. Just in the little bit that I've used this, I'm really liking it. I can tell you that right now. And I told you guys, this might be the viable option for beginners into PCP. You know, I said, you know, 3622 would be good too, especially if you need lightweight. I think the 3622 would be great for younger individuals because this will be a little beefy for them to handle. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. All right. You know what? Let's go over here. Might need to take the safety off. I got to get used to this little weird safety here. Ting! Yes, sir. It's got a patang. Or else we ain't doing nothing. Let's go over here with it. Pong. All right, let's move out a little further. Got that one saw blade in the middle of the range down there. See what we can do with that. Uh-oh. I think I dropped one. See what we can do with that one in the middle down there. If anything. Pong. Yep, no problem. All right, go for the gold. Go out there for the black diamond. Ponk. Yes, sir, no problem there either. Let's do one more. And let's try for the, you know what, let's just try for this bottle here. Ha! Just like that. Nice shooter, I tell you that right now. It's right on the money. Oh, wait just a minute. As usual, I always forget something. We got to do the ambient audio, and I have it set up, so it's like I went through the trouble of setting up my field audio recorder, and then I end up almost forgetting to do it. So let's do an ambient audio. We're not going to hit any targets. We just want to hear what the gun sounds like ambiently. So here we go. It is kind of loud. It's not going to be that backyard friendly. It is kind of snappy. So keep that in mind. You may want to hit up buck rail and take care of that little issue. Here we go. Do one more for you guys so you can see what's going on here. One more. Whoops. Ended up hitting something anyway. Oh well. Well, there you go. All right, now we can go up the hill, get the chronograph test, trigger test, and then we'll be back down, do some accuracy. All right, we're up here in the backyard. Got the chronograph out and ready to go. We're gonna start out with the RWS Hobbies, which are 11.9 grain. This does claim to be upwards of 850 FPS, so we'll see what we get. Here we go. .934. Okay. Well, that just went way over the number there. Pyramid Air says 850. I'm thinking Beeman probably said 900 because they usually knock their estimate down from what the manufacturer says. 934. Do one more hobby. There it is. That's what I like to see. The good old error. Let's try that again. 953. Dude. Man, we're almost touching 1,000 here. I want to do one more of these hobbies. One more. Okay. 932. Okay. So, mid 900s. Not too bad. You're not going to be using the hobbies for too much of anything except targeting probably though. Next, of course, we're going to try the JSB Exact Jumbo Express, which are 14.35 grain. Here we go. 900. How about that? Let's do one more. 900 coming out of there. Tell you what, that's better than 3622 as far as that goes. 902. 902 FPS with a 14.35 grain pellet. Hey, can't argue with that at all. Now we're going to jump up to the heaviest one I got on hand, which is the Crossman Domed Ultra Heavy at 19 grain. If these 19 grains are moving fast, we're looking good. We're looking real good. Here we go, 19 grain. 790. All right, so it dropped off a fair amount, but 790, that's better than 3622. Another one. 797, around 800 almost. Let's do one more just for good measure. You're gonna have no problem doing any pesting or small game hunting with this. 782. Well, there you go. Those numbers, I really like those numbers. That's definitely, that's better than a 3622, folks. No doubt about it whatsoever. How about that? All right, well, we know the FPS is better than the 3622. What about the trigger pull? Let's find out. All right, let's see what's going on with this trigger pull here. We got the Wheeler trigger gauge out here. Let's get this started here. We'll do a couple, obviously, see where we're at. Trigger feels fine, from what I've noticed from using it. Is it drastically different than the 3622? Now keep in mind, my 3622 has around a 2-pound pull. They're not all like that, obviously, as I've said before. Let's go ahead and see what the Beeman's doing here. Oop, got caught in there. 2 pounds, 3.6 ounces. Sure you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. Let's do it again, of course. Thing got stuck in there, so hopefully it didn't mess with the what our result was there. I feel like it probably did, so we're going to do 2 more. We'll do 2 more. All right, here we go. 2 pounds, 6.1 ounces. No, it didn't mess with it, so it's right around there. Do one more just for good measure. One more just for good measure. There we go. £2, 6.3 ounces. You can see that. So 2 pounds, 6.3 ounces. About a 2.5 pound trigger pull. That's like kind of right in line with my 3622. I know others, the trigger pull on the 3622 is up and down and all over the place. I understand. Some are 4, some are 6, some are this and that. Mine is about 2, 2.5, which we've seen in my review video on that gun. So this is about the same as that. So for me, it's about the same. For others, this would be a significant improvement over their 3622. So keep that in mind. But there you go, about a 2.5 pound pull. Not bad at all. Feels good to me. Let's head back down the hill. All right, I got a target set up down there about 30 yards. Just open sights as usual, you know me. So it's gonna be a little bit tricky. It's always tricky. That's how I like it. Obviously down the road, we'll put a scope on it and really see what we can do. I know a lot of people like to know that. I'm not a huge scope guy, but I will do it for the viewer so that we can figure out what's going on there. But in this video, I'm just using open sights at 30 yards because that's normally how I would use it. So let's go ahead and get started here. I am going to take a couple shots just to kind of see where I'm at. So we'll be taking, we'll be taking a few here. See where I'm at first. A little high, maybe. I hit the saw blade that's behind the target. That's funny. I think I did that before, too. All right, that was a little high, I think. It's coming down some. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now that I know where I'm at, we're going to see what kind of group we can get offhand shooting. Now, I am using my tripod rest, so I have a little bit of an advantage there, but still, see what we get. Okay. It's going to hit that saw blade back there. That's funny. I didn't even really try that, but it is kind of right in line with it. It was a little high. Keep in mind, folks, this is offhand shooting. My tripod is not ultra stable, so there is a little wiggly wobbly going on. But we're just seeing what we can do here. I don't think it's going too bad so far. Let's do, we'll do like 2 more. Then again, you know me. Uh-oh. Skirt on this pellet's a little weird. Pating, pating, you're getting bonus patings. Bonus patings. What do you think about that? Bonus patings while we're doing the accuracy test. Cannot go wrong there, right? Pating, pating, pating. Oh, yeah. Let's do 2 more. I know I said I'd do 2 more, but we're going to do 2 more. You know how I am. Got to. Got to. That is a 4-inch splatterburst target down there. 4-inch splatterburst at 30 yards. It's tricky. It's very tricky. It's the way I like it. Challenge myself here. There's tons of videos out there on the accuracy on this gun with scopes and everything else, and I like to do it how I'm going to use it. You know what I mean? So that's how we're doing it. I'm going to use this mostly offhand, obviously, and without a scope, but I do have it on a rest to give us a little advantage, and of course I will do a video down the road with the scope. I think we're looking real good, guys. 1 more, just for good measure. I think it's looking really good. At least from what I can see from here, because I can kind of barely see it. But I can see the, the marking getting bigger and bigger. So I think we're right in around a pretty solid group there. All right. Well, I think it looks good from here, but I'm going to go down there and get it and really look at it. I'll be right back. Alrighty then. That, I like that. Oh yeah. That's right about there is a little over 1 inch, but for the most part it's about 1 inch. Again, open sight shooting at 30 yards. I'm going to take that all day long. Take that all day long. How about that? Obviously, you get a scope on there, you're gonna squeeze that in even tighter, which we will attempt to try to do, you know, down the road, like I said. This, offhand shooting, 30 yards, and I've barely fiddled with the sights. I did fiddle with them a little bit to get it where I want it, but yeah, can't argue with that, right? How about that? The Beeman QB Chief. Like I said, folks, this could be your choice for your entry-level PCP. I would say this, for the adult or even teenager, older teen, that is looking to get into the PCP world, and they don't want to, they're not like modders and they don't upgrade and do all this stuff, right? They don't do any of that. This is great. This is probably where I would point you to, right here, the Beeman QB Chief. For younger individuals, okay, for the little ones just getting into it and you want them to try with a PCP rifle, I would say the 3622 is perfect for a younger individual. Super lightweight. This has got a lot more weight to it. This is more like 7 pounds. It's probably heavier than 7 or around there. It's like 7. It feels like it might be 7 pounds. Just absolutely guessing on that. Yeah, I really like this. The Beeman QB Chief. For the money, yeah, I know it's not made in America, but sometimes we're just gonna have to get over that, folks. This is a winner in my book. Kind of funny that it's called the 1322. Just keep in mind, folks, this is modeled. This is literally an exact copy of the Crosman 160. Just keep that in mind, because this is the QB78 or something. I think that's what it's called, a CO2, the CO2 version of this, right? Because this is that gun just in a PCP format instead of CO2, all right? So that gun is literally an exact copy of the Crosman 160, all right? And shout out to Nibs, because without his history lessons, I wouldn't even notice this stuff. Yep. Huh. Very cool. With that said, I will catch you all down the road.